Force yourself to improve every single day. You know what separates winners from everyone else. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even opportunity. It's the courage to force yourself to do what you don't feel like doing. Because let's be honest, there are mornings when you wake up and don't want to move. You don't want to try again. You don't want to go to the gym, study, work, or fix your habits. You just want to escape your own thoughts. But guess what? That's exactly the moment where growth begins. You see, every successful person you admire has faced that same moment, the gap between what they feel like doing and what they need to do. And every single day, they made the same choice. They forced themselves forward. That's the truth nobody wants to admit. Motivation isn't coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, today's your big breakthrough." You have to create that breakthrough by showing up, over and over again, especially when it's uncomfortable. When you force yourself to take that small, disciplined action every single day, something powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself. You start to believe that you can depend on you. And that trust, it's the foundation of confidence. Most people think confidence means feeling good about yourself. No, confidence means doing the hard thing even when you don't feel ready. It means showing up before you have all the answers, before you feel motivated, before it feels easy. Because the truth is, you will never feel ready. Read that again. You will never feel ready. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't start. Let me tell you something about how your mind works. Your brain's number one job is to protect you from discomfort. It wants to keep you safe, comfortable, and predictable. That's why the moment you decide to do something new, wake up early, start that project, speak up, exercise, your brain screams, "Don't do it. It's risky." That's fear disguising itself as logic. But your greatest growth lives on the other side of that resistance. You have to train your brain like a muscle. You have to push back. You have to force yourself to move before your mind talks you out of it. That's how you rewire your life, not through motivation, but through momentum. Here's the deal. If you can control one moment, that moment between thinking about it and doing it, you can change your entire life. Because everything you want, confidence, fitness, success, peace, starts with a single decision, to act, not think. And when you push through that resistance once, it gets easier. Not because the world changes, but because you do. This is your reminder that no one's coming to do it for you. If you want to be proud of yourself, earn it. If you want a better life, build it. If you want to grow, force yourself to improve, every single day. That's what champions do. Discipline over motivation. Let's talk about the truth that changes everything. Discipline will take you places that motivation never will. Motivation is temporary. It's a mood. It's that quick burst of energy that fades the second life gets hard. But discipline is your muscle. It's what shows up when motivation doesn't. And if you want to win, in life, business, health, relationships, you have to train that muscle every single day. You see, every person who built something extraordinary didn't rely on how they felt. They relied on their standards. They said, "I do it because I said I would. Not because it's easy, not because it's convenient, but because that's who I am now." That's the mindset that separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers talk about what they want. Doers build it. Doers get up when it's dark. Doers push through when nobody's watching. Doers show up when it's boring, uncomfortable, and repetitive, because they know that's where real progress happens. Listen, you're not tired. You're untrained. You're not lazy. You're undisciplined. And the only way to fix that is by proving to yourself, one small action at a time, that you can do hard things. Start with one thing. Wake up when you said you would. Make your bed. Read 5 pages. Work out for 15 minutes. Speak kindly to yourself. Do it not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your identity. You go from, "I wish I could," to, "I know I can." That shift, that's how confidence is born. Most people are chasing motivation. They scroll through videos, waiting for that spark. But motivation doesn't build habits. Action does. Consistency does. It's what you do when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when no one even cares. That's where your real strength is tested. Because greatness isn't built in public, it's built in private. It's built in those quiet mornings when you drag yourself out of bed. It's built in the nights when you keep going even though nobody's cheering for you. That's when you're growing. That's when you're transforming. And here's what happens when you live with discipline. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop waiting for the right time. You start becoming the kind of person who does what they said they would, no matter what. You stop saying, I can't, and start saying, how can I? You stop thinking, someday, and start saying, today. That's the mindset shift that changes everything. You want to know how successful people think? They don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They wake up and follow routines that move them forward. They've trained their brain to associate pain with progress. Because they know, discomfort is a sign that you're growing. And that's the secret no one tells you. Growth doesn't feel good. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to challenge you, stretch you, even break you a little. But that pain, that struggle, that's the sign that you're alive, evolving, and stepping into your potential. So the next time you feel tired, stuck, unmotivated, remember this. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to begin. Force yourself to take that one step, the rest will follow. Because the moment you move, the universe moves with you. And if you do that every single day, if you choose discipline over comfort, your entire life will change before your eyes. You'll stop waiting for the perfect moment. You'll start creating it. That's the power of forcing yourself to improve. That's the power of discipline. That's how you win, one small, uncomfortable, disciplined choice at a time. Mental toughness, the power of consistency. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Your success has nothing to do with how talented you are. It has everything to do with how consistent you're willing to be when things get hard. Mental toughness isn't about being fearless, it's about feeling fear and doing it anyway. It's about showing up when it's uncomfortable, when you're tired, when no one claps, when no one believes in you. Because the truth is, life will test you. You'll be rejected, you'll be doubted, you'll fail, again and again. But the people who win aren't the ones who avoid pain, they're the ones who use it. They look at failure and say, good. That means I'm growing. They look at rejection and say, perfect. That means I'm trying. They look at hard days and say, bring it on. That means I'm becoming stronger. See, most people quit not because they can't, but because they don't feel like it anymore. They stop right before the breakthrough. They trade what they want most for what they want now, comfort, ease, a little rest. But mental toughness is doing what's necessary, not what's easy. Let me give you a truth you need to write down. Consistency beats intensity. Anyone can go hard for a week. But can you stay focused for a year? For 5 years? For 10? That's the real question. Every single day, your brain will give you 100 reasons to stop. I'm tired. I don't have time. It's not working. And that's when you have to rise up and say, I decide how this story ends. You want to be great. You want to stand out. You want to change your life. Then stop treating effort like an option. Stop letting your feelings make your decisions. Do it when you're excited. Do it when you're exhausted. Do it when no one notices. Do it when it's boring. Because every time you show up, you're training your mind to obey you, not the other way around. You have to become the kind of person who finishes what they start. Not because it's easy, but because you said you would. Because that's your standard now. Look, life will hit you hard. It will knock you down, confuse you, test your patience, and break your routines. But when life hits, your job isn't to complain. Your job is to stand up, take a breath, and say, is that all you've got? That's mental toughness. That's the fire you build when you refuse to quit. When you refuse to give up on yourself. And here's the thing, every day you show up, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every action, every habit, every little decision, it's a brick in the foundation of your future. So when you skip the work, when you give in to excuses, when you quit, you're voting for the old version of you. But when you push forward, even when it's hard, you're voting for the person you're becoming. And if you keep voting for that future version of you, day after day, choice after choice, guess what? That's who you'll become. You'll look back one day and realize you didn't need motivation, luck, or approval. You just needed to keep showing up. Because consistency builds character. Character builds habits. And habits build destiny. That's the real secret. Not overnight success. Not viral moments. Not talent. But the quiet, consistent, relentless decision to force yourself to improve, every single day. So don't pray for it to be easier. Pray for the strength to stay consistent. Pray for the discipline to keep going. Pray for the courage to rise again every time you fall. Because that's how winners are made. That's how greatness is born. Transformation and the mindset shift. Let's talk about what all this effort is really for. Because forcing yourself to improve every single day isn't just about winning trophies, making money, or collecting achievements. It's about becoming someone you respect. It's about waking up and looking in the mirror thinking, I built this person. I earned this peace. I earned this strength. Every single act of discipline, every single moment of consistency, every single time you said no to comfort, it was never punishment. It was transformation. You are not here to live the same day on repeat. You're here to grow, to evolve, to rise. And that means killing the version of you that makes excuses, delays dreams, and waits for motivation. That version doesn't serve you anymore. See, the greatest battle you'll ever fight is not against others, it's against the voice inside that says, stay the same. That's the real enemy, comfort. Comfort kills ambition. Comfort whispers, you've done enough, when you've barely scratched your potential. But when you decide that every day is a test of your will, your focus, your hunger, then life opens up. You stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. You stop reacting and start creating. That's when you cross into a new mindset, the rich versus poor mindset. Kenneth E. Hagin talked about. The poor mindset waits. It blames. It complains. It says, I can't because. It's a mindset of limitation. It sees problems and says, why me? The rich mindset. It says, why not me? It believes every challenge hides an opportunity. It invests in growth, not excuses. It sees failure as feedback, not final. It understands that the most valuable asset isn't money, it's the person you become while earning it. And that's the point. If you want to build a rich life, start with a rich mind. Feed it with discipline, train it with consistency, fuel it with purpose. Because success doesn't start in your bank account, it starts in your beliefs. So, ask yourself right now, what version of me am I feeding every day? The one that complains, or the one that conquers? The one that hides, or the one that hunts? The one that makes excuses, or the one that makes it happen? Every morning, when you open your eyes, you have that choice again. To be average, or to be amazing. To stay the same, or to step up. To let life happen, or to take control and design it. And I'm telling you right now, your future is waiting for you to move. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. You don't need permission, you don't need motivation, you just need to decide. Decide that today, you'll do one thing better than yesterday. Decide that no matter how you feel, you'll take that next step. Decide that quitting is no longer part of your vocabulary. Because if you can do that, if you can force yourself to improve every single day, the impossible becomes possible. Opportunities open, confidence grows, peace arrives, and one day, you'll look back and realize, you became the person you were always meant to be. So get up, stop waiting, stop doubting, start moving. This is your moment, this is your time, and the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the choice to force yourself to improve every single day. Conclusion, the final message. You have one life, one chance, one story, and it's being written right now, with every choice you make. Every time you get up when you're tired, you're rewriting your story. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you're rewriting your destiny. Every time you take one more step forward, even when it hurts, you're proving that you are stronger than your past. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody's coming to make it easy. But you have something far greater. You have power. You have will. You have fire. And if you can force yourself to improve every single day, no matter how small the step, then one day, you'll wake up and realize, you didn't just change your habits, you changed your life. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now, push now, rise now, because the future belongs to those who act, to those who fight for their growth, to those who keep showing up when everyone else gives up. Be that person, be unstoppable, and remember, every day you force yourself to grow, you become the kind of person who can't be broken. This is your time, this is your life, so go out there, and force yourself to improve every single day.